And we're back.
Back.
Welcome.
I don't even know what number episode this is. Welcome to the cavalry, everyone.
Yeah, this is episode undetermined amount. I mean, when you're this old of a podcast, do we even need to count anymore?
Yeah.
You know,
What season are we in?
I
We
mean,
lost track.
what season of Days of Our Lives is it? You know,
Exactly.
what episode is Survivor on? Do you know they still make
Exactly.
Survivor? I just found that out today. They were like announcing a new cast of Survivor. I was on the internet so much today.
I figured, but I didn't keep track of that.
A good reality show just doesn't die. You know what I mean? Amazing Race still going. Big Brother still going.
Are those good reality shows?
I mean,
The only reality show I've literally ever watched is Love is Blind.
it took you 25 years to get convinced to watch a reality show, and even then, you're not going to go trust the classics. Survivor season 1, the first Survivor. You don't remember like the cultural significance, like how big that show was?
Yes, I do. I did not watch it, but I do remember how important it was.
That Richard was walking around. I mean, I still remember his name. I don't even know if I watched the whole show, but I mean, I remember like it was like a big deal.
Wow.
Anyway, let's talk about your penis operation.
My penis operation was today.
Come on, just give us the whole. I'm gonna get out of the way.
I'll just tell you this.
Just go ahead.
All right, I'll just ramble on. So it was, I will start out by saying it was worse than I was told it would be. I mean, when I first was told I had to have it and I found out what it was, I thought it was going to be, just awful. And there's no way in hell.
Wait.
I did it.
Explain to everyone what it is, because again, we're assuming everyone listens to every episode. So explain what you had done, or what they told you you were to have done, and what they were saying.
So they found microscopic amounts of blood in my urine in a random, how healthy am I test. And so they were like, oh, you have to get we want to get you to get a cystoscopy, which is where they put a camera in. I'm afraid we're going to lose every male listener at this part. It's hard to even talk about. They put a camera in your pee hole and go up in and to look around the inside of your bladder. It's basically a bladder cancer screening thing, just to cover their bases. And so I was like, okay. And so I've been dreading. I mean, I've had this on the books for over 2 months, and I did it today. I talked to a couple urologists. Cousin of mine's a urologist. Really put me at ease. Was like, it's the thought of it is way worse than it is. That's the biggest thing, is the thought of it. And I was like, all right, that's logical. That makes sense. And I'm going to call him. I'm assuming he's not a listener. I will call him and say, hey, thank you so much for talking to me and making me calm about it. And, it's over. I did it. And that's where that conversation will end. But I will tell you, he was wrong. It was awful. The worst part about it was they numb it with, I feel like I'm too close. It was today, and the memory is too fresh, but I'll try to get through this. So they numb it with, lidocaine jelly or something. I don't want to know how. All I know is it wasn't a shot. It's not a shot. It's just topical jelly. But I think, so I lay down on my back on a, the machine, and it was a nurse that's doing this. So I just pull down my pants, sit up and lay down on my back with my head on a pillow. And she's like, yeah, the doctor will be in. I'm just going to get it numbed up. So the worst part was the numbing. I don't know what they do, but I'm pretty sure she put a long stick in my pee hole. And I was like, oh, and she was like, you have to relax. You have to relax. You can't like tense up and lift your back, because that's going to make it worse. You can't do that because it has to go around up to your bladder. So you can't like at the dentist, at least you can just grab the chair, the side of the chairs, and just grit through it. This, you have to relax while you feeling intense pain on your dick hole and urethra. It was just, it was very bad. That was very painful. So then she's done and she walks away. She's like, there you go. And she walks away. And I said, and it's still hurt and felt like there. And I said, is there something in me? Is it still in me? And she was like, what? No, I mean, there's, yeah, the jelly's in you, but there's no, why does it feel like it? I was like, yeah, it feels like there's still something in my
She's
penis.
like, oh, whoops, I left my keys. Hang on.
Oh, and then the doctor comes in and he's got a bandana on. He looks like he's, my young brother's, I mean, my young brother who's
Yeah.
a dentist and only 6 years younger than, but still.
Oh, no, thank you. Not today. Thank you. Sorry, housekeeping there. No, I'm good. Thank you, man.
Uh,
I'm trying to
you
listen.
should have asked him, hey,
Hey,
a
hey,
cystoscopy.
I'm trying to listen to my friend talk about his dick hole. Give me a second here. Uh,
Oh,
okay, no, but keep go. Sorry about the interruption there. I'm not even gonna edit that
oh,
out.
and so I think it was before he came in. I'm laying there. She's like, all right, he'll be in a minute. Now, do you want to watch? She said, do you want to watch? And I said, are you, I was like, I laughed. I was like, no, absolutely not. If you want me to faint. And she's like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Well, if you want to, it's over your shoulder. It's just over your shoulder. And that was a little confused.
She's like, "Do you want to watch?" You're
Oh,
like,
thanks.
"No,
Thank
no,
you.
no, I don't want to watch." Do you mind if he watches? And there's just a guy with a trench coat.
Trench coat.
Yeah.
Uh, no, but I thought she meant like, watch him do it on my penis, but she meant on the screen, like watch. So I was like, oh, and I said, I don't know. And she
Oh, the
said,
like
well,
the view of,
this,
you're talking about the view of the
yeah,
camera.
of the camera.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yes. So I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. And she was like, well, it's a school, it's UW Health, whatever. So she's like, so there's been a lot of studies, and people tend to do better when they are watching and they're engaged and they're like, participating in what's going on. It takes your mind off it. So I was like, all right, I'll try. So once he was in, I mean, and he comes in and I'm just like this. I don't want to see a tool or anything.
Yeah.
And then I turn and I'm watching the screen, and it was a little over 3 minutes that he was in there looking around, explaining stuff, but it was just, I mean, it was painful the entire time. And when he was done, I felt, I mean, it still hurt, but I felt like, oh my gosh, I have done the hardest thing I will do between now and when I die.
Oh.
So that was kind of a nice relief.
See, I disagree. I think you should tell this doctor friend of yours who told you it was going to be, or your cousin or whoever it was, who told you it was going to be so
Yeah.
fine. Like, maybe they just do that because what's the other option? Like, if they tell you, hey, man,
Right.
I'm not going to lie to you, this sucks. And it's as bad as you're thinking it sounds like, it's worse. And you're going to hate it. I mean, then, but you still have to get it done because you might have, you know, a problem.
Yeah.
So all he would be doing is potentially scaring you out of doing it, or so like they just tell people it's not that big of a deal. You're like, really? They're putting a camera up my penis? That's not a big deal. Like, nah, it seems like it'd be sensitive, but honestly, it's not that bad. And it's like all a big lie, which is obvious in hindsight. You're like, well, of course they were lying. How could that possibly have been true?
That's yes, but that's the thing. He's not my dad. Like he's my cousin.
But he still cares.
Now I do not trust him. I do not trust him anymore. Was that worth it to him to
That's good.
lose his cousin's trust? You know,
Now,
he's not the one doing it. If he was the one doing it, yes, that would make sense. But what is there some code among urologists?
is there a
You
percentage of
know,
you worried that you're in the I don't think this, but then all
okay.
these people told you this is so fine, it's no big deal, what are you worried about? But then it wasn't for you, it was very painful. Is there a part of you who
Yeah.
thinks like I'm the sissy here? I'm the one who's like with the extra sensitive penis hole.
No, no, not at all.
Okay, because
All
I
I have to do is
think
tell
that.
myself we are talking about sticking a camera
Yeah,
inside my dick.
yeah. No, I know. I would be equally as trepidatious about the procedure. I was just wondering.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I was told that it would, a couple days it's going to sting, like when you pee for a couple days. After we're done, I had asked him, I was like, now is this gonna, like, when I pee, is it gonna feel weird? And he said, oh, well, yeah, it might sting a bit when you urinate for, up to 2 weeks. I was like, 2 weeks?
2 weeks. Jeez.
That's a lot longer than a couple days. So I've peed 3 times since. So the procedure was done. I get dressed. She goes, do you have to go to the bathroom before you leave? I said, well, I probably should. So I go in there to pee, bracing myself, and it did hurt. It stung, but it wasn't like, Tom Hanks in The Green Mile. It wasn't like that. It was just like, oh yeah, this stings.
You didn't have
Like,
black. You didn't have black pebbles shooting out of your.
no, right, exactly. Yeah. But here's the weirdest thing. So I'm peeing. I'm seeing the pee come out. It's hitting the toilet water. And I just feel like I'm continuing to pee, but the stream stops and
Oh,
I'm just not peeing, but I still feel like I'm peeing.
weird.
And there's air coming out of my penis. Like when you're done peeing, you kind of push, you kegel, and then more pee comes out. Every time I would do that, like air would come out. And I was like, what the fuck? It was like I was queefing out of my dick. And I said that to the nurse. I came out
You
and I
said
was like,
it to the nurse.
I didn't say queefing, but I said there's like after I was done peeing, there was like air coming out, and she said, "Yeah, that's normal. Sometimes the camera pushes air in there." Oh,
You're just letting up.
and that just like the feeling of it was just so weird. Oh
It's just
God,
you're at a dinner party and you just rip a huge fart and everyone looks at you and you're like, "No, guys, don't worry. That came out of my dick."
I had a
Like,
cystoscopy a week and a half
it's
ago.
not gross, okay? It came out of my dick. That wasn't out of my ass.
It's just a camera pushed air in there, so it's cool. Oh God.
Wow.
I couldn't even, and as I was holding my dick the whole way home in the car because I was just like protecting it, like because the memory, the feeling of it, I was like, oh God. And
Right.
I told you that I recorded the audio
Yeah.
because I was just like, well, maybe this will be entertaining to someone. I told my wife that. She was like, are you out of your why would you record that? Why would you want to relive that? I was like, I don't want to. But I tried to listen to it when I first got in the car and I was getting out. I couldn't. I had to stop it because it was just, I felt like I was there again. I knew it was so fresh.
Now,
Oh
does
my
the
God.
relief you feel now, is this like the best feeling you've ever had in your life? To have this off?
No,
No.
no, because it wasn't like, oh no, it was just them covering their bases. I
I'm
was
saying
willing to,
that you don't have to do it now. You did it.
yes,
I mean that
yes, that is
I mean
nice.
like you're not looking at the calendar thinking about what is.
Exactly. That is correct. Yes, that is true. Can I
So
tell you something? This is true. I almost didn't do it. I was going there, I was driving, and I got there. I pulled into the structure. I was ready. I took like 5 CBD, 25 milligram things. So it was like 125 milligrams of CBD, just to relax. This doesn't get you high, it just relaxes you.
uh-huh.
And so I was like, all right, I'm ready for this, whatever. And I'm driving around the parking structure. I got all the way up to the top level and I'm losing my mind. There's no parking. I had to take a ticket and I was just like, I'm paying to have this fucking
Yeah.
camera put on my dick and I'm sitting here burning time. I'm like, I'm going to be late. I'm stressing out. I'm like, I'm just fucking, no, I'm just going to cancel. They need to make this a lot easier. This is bullshit. And I was just like, I'm just not going to do it. It's done. I'll take my chances. And then right when I decided that, someone pulled out in front of me and I was like, I guess I have to. There's a spot
Wow.
right there. I can't. But I
Really?
was close, man. because I was mad. I was like mad looking for parking when you're running a little late.
So this is
Oh,
basically a cancer screening, right? That would be the big fear.
yes.
Okay. And so
Yeah. That's what they're doing. They do a CT scan that came back clear. And then they do this, which looks at the inside walls because they can't see that on the CT scan. And then they do a cell biopsy they send off. But he said, oh, yeah, everything looks fine here. So,
I mean, as a part
so
of you is like, this is horrible.
what?
Like a little part of you is like, I hope they find something to make this all worth it. Not cancer, but maybe like some sort of, blockage,
Just something weird.
keeping my penis slightly smaller or something. Some sort of reason or to make you feel like, well, thank God I did that.
Yeah, best case scenario is they find some weird abnormality
Right.
that they can
Tiny
take
thing.
a picture of while they're in there and then pay me to use those pictures in like a medical study.
It's just got
That
the
would have been the best case scenario.
it's got the little Getty images in the corner, the pictures that they use.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh man.
wow, dude. But you did. See, I'm proud of you. Look at you. You conquered your fear, your biggest fear.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, when I left that, I was like, everybody lied to me. That's all I thought. Everybody lied to me.
Now, have you ever had a colonoscopy?
No, I haven't.
Aren't you
But
due?
I'll tell you, that'll be a day in the park.
That's what I'm saying. That'll be nothing compared to this. Did
Yeah.
aren't you due? You're not due for one of those? I thought you get one of those when you're like 40 or something. Maybe it's 50.
Yeah, I think they changed it to 45. I think, yeah, I mean, I think again, next year I'll have to get one.
You're like, can you just keep shoving that camera? Can you go all the way around the corner there?
Yeah, save me some time.
Wow. Well, good job, dude. I'm happy for you that it's off the calendar and put it that way.
Oh, thank you. I am too.
Did you
That's the big relief.
straight to a drive-through? I mean, what was the
Yeah,
post?
I got a Dave's triple. I got a Dave's triple. That's how I rewarded myself. I'm not even kidding you. You know what the sad thing is?
I
I
know.
had the same thing for lunch. Yeah, I had the same thing for lunch yesterday. uh,
Ooh, I'll give myself a little
I
treat.
was like, I deserve
I'll give myself a little treat. The exact same lunch I had yesterday.
it. Yeah. Oh man.
I read a thing.
Yeah.
They did a study and they found you ever heard of microplastics? There's like microplastic
Yeah. In like water
in
bottles.
water bottles or water and
Yeah.
in the ice caps and the polar ice. They find them everywhere now because there's so much plastic been around. They found them in
Oh
a
wow.
100% of in the study. They found microplastics in 100% of the testicles that they checked. So there's plastic in your balls. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that. Wow.
Hey, that was
Is there any in yours?
pardon?
Is there any in yours?
Well, I keep checking, but trust me, I've done a thorough evacuation, but nothing seems to be
Yeah.
a little bit
No.
coming out that I can see.
Oh man. Yeah, Aaron really latched onto that study. We're done getting bottled water.
You
It's
know what?
all
I think it's beyond our powers. I hate to tell you because what I read was that it's the tires. Our cars, when you burn rubber, there's like plastic in the tire,
uh,
and then that gets it. Obviously, all that when it rains, all the stuff from the roads goes into the water.
uh
That's the way a lot of the plastic gets into our water, and you drink water, of course. So I don't know if it's
well, can't they get a filter?
yeah, we need one big Brita filter. Like where Niagara Falls is? They should just put a
Yeah.
Brita filter. on Niagara
Yeah,
Falls.
that's what they should
That'll
do.
solve it. But then you gotta
Right
change
at the top.
that fucking thing. You know what I mean? We'd never change it. We put the Brita filter in once and it'd be flashing red.
Yeah.
I'm not going all the way to New York and huge thing.
Yeah. I have to get a Amazon subscription so it auto sends a new one to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, I got Ginger. She's such a picky eater that the pediatrician recommended getting Flintstone vitamins. I don't know if I mentioned that. They're still in vogue apparently in the medical community. But then, like,
That's
when you buy,
funny. Do kids even know who the Flintstones are?
oh no, I was like, I got it now. This stupid medicine. Now I got to show her an episode of the Flintstones. I got to somehow find that just to get her excited about taking Flintstone vitamins. I'm like, that one's Fred, and then she's like, who's this one? I'm like, that's Fred too. I don't remember any of the Flintstones. So
Barney?
Barney,
They should make Paw Patrol needs to get in on the vitamin game.
everybody, yeah, Spider-Man. The Sesame Street is timeless. That's at least she knows who those guys are. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
anyway, so Flintstone vitamins, and then it's so funny you said, "Did she even know they were all right?" Because we have that conversation every time I give her one. She's like, "Who's this?" And you have to break them in half. She only can take half of one, so it's like a half of
Oh,
Wilma.
wow.
Like it does not look how many. It's like, oh, that's half. That's Wilma's legs. It means nothing to her.
And that's just so she gets her vitamins?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Because she probably doesn't eat enough
Oh,
vegetables. But the point is that I bought them on Amazon because like, where am I going to find Flintstone? Drugstores are
yeah.
closing, right? So it's hard to find Flintstone vitamins. And with the iron, they have to have the iron with them. So I ordered them on Amazon, and then they like try to set you up from a subscription. I'm like, oh well, in this case, it's actually a good idea because I bought. But then I'm like doing the math, like she's taking a half of one every day. There's like
Yeah.
60 in here. That's 120 days. I'm not doing a stupid ass those subscriptions are because that's how you get like 15 bot. You just keep forgetting, and then you're back.
Right. And is there a discount to do it that way?
I think so. Pennies. There's no way they win. Any.
Yeah.
That's what you have to like. You really got to sit down and think about it. Like, if the company is offering it, they're getting the best.
They're winning.
They're winning. Like you're
Yeah.
only winning if you're like making them do something they don't want to do. If they're like offering it,
Right.
like alarm bells should go off. Like, oh, maybe they've got the upper hand in this negotiation.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
But anyway,
Oh.
um,
How
but
many times on the podcast did I tell the story of I had to get my stomach pumped when I was really little because I ate a whole bottle of I think they were Flintstone, they were like Pac-Man vitamins.
I don't think you've ever told that story. But can I tell you
Oh, my
something?
sister, my older sister caught me in. What?
It tracks. It
Yeah.
lines up. Yeah, it fits.
Right. But I
Wait,
had to go to the hospital to get my stomach pumped.
because you ate a whole bottle of Pac-Man vitamins,
Yeah.
man. Isn't there part of you that thinks like they probably made the right decision to go pump your stomach? But isn't there like a small part of you that's like, I would have been fine? There's still,
Yes, I totally think I would have been fine.
I think I could house a whole thing of gummy, whatever. You could give me the strongest vitamins they make over the counter, and I could eat the whole bottle, and I don't think I would have a problem.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that the same as like eating 2 packs of gummy worms all the way through?
Yeah. Or like, what if
Huh.
I eat like a shit ton of broccoli? I mean, those have vitamins in them, right? No one's gonna send me to the hospital.
Yeah. No, getting a stomach pumped for that.
What if your sister prevented you? What if you could have like turned into a superhero or something, and she stopped it from happening?
You're right. You know what? From now on, I'm going to be bitter towards my sister.
You should. You don't like your sister. You don't like your cousin.
My sister, well, I shouldn't say she, but she was the one that was like, it's probably fine. People do it all the time with the whole cystoscopy.
Yeah. Everybody was. They're all just trying to make you feel better. But then you're right. The one
Get me.
in my head, I was like, well, why not? I mean, what can it hurt? But you're right. Then you lose trust in people.
He's not doing it. Yeah, well, exactly. Oh well.
All right, buddy. Well, what do you think? Should we get to topics?
Let's get to topics.
That
Let's
was
get
that was the
to
ultimate
topics.
banter. So, uh,
Yeah, baby.
you want to go first? You want me to go first? You turn the
Sure, I'll go first, just because while it's fresh in my mind, I was in Canada, and I everybody's like, "Oh, did you do poutine? Did you do poutine?" It's a two-parter. Okay, first of all, poutine
yeah,
is overrated.
yeah.
Okay, that's what Canada's known for. That's a stupid thing. Sorry, Christina, but that is a stupid thing. You're putting gravy
That's
on French fries and with cheese curds in it. I like French fries. I like cheese curds, but gravy's for mashed potatoes. You can't like it's just, and it was terrible. And also, because I was texting Christina, she said I got the worst kind ever because I got it at this place called Pizza Pizza. So, and they don't make the best poutine, but I get the gist of it. Like, how, you know, how can, who's gonna those are the same, it's the same ingredients. It's the same ingredients.
oh my god.
It was the last day I was there. I had eaten nothing Canadian. So I was like, I gotta get it somewhere. I didn't have time to go to a sit-down restaurant, and I was like walking to the club, and I was like, oh, I'll just get a slice of pizza and a pack of, a big box of poutine.
It's just so
And
funny.
it was not great.
It wasn't just like you're in Canada, you're in Montreal. So
Right.
you're like this French little, you know what I mean? Cultural center of the whole East.
Yeah. And I mean, have you been to Montreal?
No, I've never been there. Never been to Montreal.
Yeah, everyone speaks French and they all smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of
It's horrible.
massage, uh, dancing girl shows all over the place.
It sounds, I don't know. I'm bitter about Montreal because it's like I never did the Montreal Comedy Festival. So
And now it's bankrupt and done.
yeah, I'm very down on it as a city. But you can't. I mean, I'm with Christina. Like, it's so unfair to judge. I'm with you. Let me stop here. I'm gonna back you up. I'm with you on poutine. Although I will say I've never had it. It just like something
Okay. Okay.
you just know. It looks so unappetizing to me. French fries. The whole point of French fries is for them to be crispy. Like that's like
Yep.
why. Like you said, mashed potatoes. Like if you just want a soggy mess of potatoes, like we have that. That's mashed potatoes. Like the reason why French fries
Yes.
are good is because they're like this fried, crispy, like the outsides of it. And you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's the good part. It's salty and it's delicious. But when you put a bunch of fucking slop ass gravy and cheese and shit on them, and then they all just start to like mush up together.
Yeah.
You're thinking too much.
Yep.
I'm out on poutine. I've never had it, and you've only had it from Pizza Pizza. So maybe we should give it a shot at a nice place. But what nice place makes poutine? That's the thing. It's like it sounds like junk food that only like I don't
Yeah.
like sit down restaurants really serving poutine. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you got to get the cheesy bread from a fancy place. You have
Right.
the cheesy bread from a bad place. Like, what?
You just try everything from Little Caesars. You're like,
But also, like, how bad? Like,
hi at Little
how,
Caesars. It's not any good. The duck l'orange, Little Caesars made it. It wasn't very tasty to me. I'm never having that again. Why do even people eat this?
yeah, I got the duck l'orange from Little Caesars.
Duck l'orange, 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 l'orange.
Uh, but I don't know that, like, do you have to eat where you go, or like I felt pressure if I came back and I didn't have a start, because I got poutine, I got steamed meat or smoked meat, and I got a beaver tail, which is like a pastry, Canadian pastry thing. And that was actually really good. But I was just like, what's this pressure?
What
Why
did
don't I just eat what I like?
Christina text you like suggestions on places you should try before you went, or did you just tell her after the fact, like, hey, I tried
Yeah,
it?
when I was there, I texted her. She told me this steakhouse, and I didn't go to any of the places she told me. They just didn't have to. They were like sit down places,
Yeah. Where are you gonna go? You got a show. Yeah.
The keg. Yeah.
Oh, the keg. I love that.
But
Like, we had the keg in Seattle growing up. It went like bankrupt.
oh, really?
A shitty chain.
So is that not even a Canadian place?
No, it's like an Outback, but worse. Like when I was a kid, and then like I was in Victoria,
That's where Christina told me to go.
and then in Canada they think it's like they think it's like the fucking Metropolitan Grill or something. It's or Peter Luger's or whatever.
Like
It's like
Applebee's.
it's their nicest place. Like the keg, we went in Victoria. I remember with Tyler Bowes, other comedian. We were walking around Victoria. They have a keg. I was like, oh, there's the keg. I remember that. It was like in some deserted mall in North Seattle, you know. And then you
Yeah.
go in there, and it's like not. It is they do a good like they try. They're trying. They're keeping it nice in there. But I wouldn't call it. It's just like a chain restaurant, you know.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, because there were two. I walked by two different locations.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was in Vancouver, whatever, 2 days ago. I went, I really had to go to the bathroom. But I was walking. I walked way far away from the pier, and so I had no home base to use the bathroom. And I had a cold
Yeah.
in the morning and stuff, and I was like, oh God, where am I gonna go? So I went to this grocery store, and then they need you need a key, but then I go so I have to go to like customer service to get the key, but then the key's not there. Like, oh, that means somebody's in there. I'm like, oh, I'm not waiting. So then I go across the street and there's like this little like I don't know Thai or Korean maybe tea pastry shop, and the bathroom
Is this for pee or poop?
poop. So
Okay.
bathroom's just like straight, like it's like a small hallway of a place, and there's a counter, and it's like
Yep.
really, I'm not hungry. I don't want a donut or whatever they have. I had a bunch of coffee. I don't want a coffee. I don't like matcha or the fancy teas. But I see the bathroom. The door is just right there and it's open. And the lady has her back to me. And like so I kind of walk in slow. I'm like, if she doesn't turn around, like that's on you. You saw a new person come in and you're not even recognize them. All right. And so I went straight. I just kept going to the bathroom. And I went, didn't take me a long time. Wash up, come back
So
out.
how did it go? What was it like?
Oh, it was great. It was a great experience.
Okay.
Probably the best. It's always the best feeling in my life is right up. Like when you're in a situation like that, you're in public and you don't know, like you have to use the bathroom and you don't know where you're gonna go to get one
Yeah.
clean,
Yeah.
and you didn't have to,
That's a win.
and you just feel like a winner after that. But then
Yeah.
I'm walking out and she's just looking right at me. And so I'm like, oh, all right. So I go up there and I buy some raspberry tea that I didn't even want. And
After you pooped, I would have been like, "Hey, how are you?
yeah,
Goodbye."
no, I got passive aggressive guilted into it.
Okay.
And then you know what? It was worth the tea was like $6 too. Just insane. But then I was like thinking about it, I was like, I would have paid easily $6 for that bathroom experience. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you know what? This actually works out too because I need change, on the ship. It's nice to have a
Yeah.
small bill. So I give her a 20 and she just looks like at me like I'm the biggest dumb fuck in the world because I just hand her an American. That's how arrogant I am. It's like, oh, you don't take real money? All right. Here's my credit card.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll back you up
What
though.
do you need backup on?
Okay, so have you ever done 23 and Me?
No, I have not.
You know what it is, though, right?
Yes. Where is that the one with the spit?
Yeah. So there's 23andMe and
Okay.
there's what's the other one? I don't know what the other one is, but it's basically you take a DNA test.
Ancestry.com.
Exactly. You take a DNA test, and then they will tell you your heritage. Okay.
Okay.
So my wife and her cousins did this, and they found a new cousin, like a new first cousin that lives in Hawaii. So that
Okay.
means one of their uncles had like a kid, that nobody ever knew about or talked about.
Yeah.
So what I need backup on is like,
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy, right? But one of the uncles has passed away, and so it's just like, you don't know, and then it's like, how deep do you want to dig into this
Yeah.
situation?
Yeah.
I think it's probably the one who's passed away. So, but what I was thinking
Is there
about,
any margin of error on this?
well, I don't know. That's a good question. Like, also, Heidi is like a certain percentage Swedish that
Hmm.
like it doesn't make sense how Swedish she is, judging by like other.
Okay.
So then you're like, it raises all these questions, and so like my point is like the technology is only going to get better as far as like determining who you are, where you're from, who's lying, and basically we're at a point where you
Yep.
take a secret to the grave anymore. There's no more. It used to be if you lived a life, you kept some secrets, and you were able to keep
Yep.
all the plates spinning in the air and changing the subject
Yep.
at the exact right time when uncomfortable questions came up, and you made it to where they were throwing dirt on your coffin. That was it. You won, and that died with you. And now the technology is going to
Yes.
be so good that even then you're not going to. And I kind of think it's wrong. You should just leave that. There shouldn't be DNA
Yeah.
tests.
Oh, yeah.
Like you got to just leave. I think that you should leave it alone. That's what I think.
Well, you're saying once if you make it to the grave, you can't go back. There's no reviewing the play. You won the game. It's over. They called it.
It's like throwing the
Yeah.
challenge flag after 2 hours after the game ended. It's like that
Right. Yes.
shot,
Yeah.
you know?
Man, yeah. I totally back you up. And I think like it scares me. Like sometimes it's like with the technology, like if you told people from the past what we're capable of now, they would be like, holy shit, that doesn't seem real. And now I'm kind of thinking like, what would be the equivalent? Like pretty soon they're gonna be like, hey, do you want to know what the sickest shit your great grandfather ever thought of? Like they'll
Yes.
be able to like look at just be like, oh, this is what he thought of when he was alone in his head.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there are
Oh,
no secrets. I mean, like, and we always, people talk about privacy, but really, me and you, we're the same way. We'll always trade convenience for privacy. Like every
yes.
we're
Yeah.
reading the thing, we're clicking the box, make it go faster,
Yep.
make it go easier,
Yep. Check
whatever.
out this funny filter. Look at this. Hey, I'm an aged cowboy.
I did that when I was making my stupid poster for those shows. I AI face swapped and I was like, well, there goes my entire security. Like they're doing biometric scans of my face at the airport, and they're like, oh, there's already 13 dudes who came through here with radiation scan.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Oh,
you're thinking people better come to this fucking show and all for what I traded in.
more ticket. But I always will do it. But so there's no way out. Like we're gonna have like just like there could be a few outliers. There could be some principled people out there like, no, my security and my privacy means something. I'm gonna live on a
Yep.
phone and never open up the internet. Like good for you. But like society has shown like we will trade convenience
Yes.
for our privacy. But
Absolutely.
you're right. Like there will be a time where you could just like log into your grandpa's brain and go, did he really love grandma or was he stuck? And then like, oh, fuck, that sucks.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like
Yeah.
we should know. I think if like your memories, because now like if Heidi really digs in on some of this family stuff and there's something like it changes the way you think about, different family members who are gone.
Yeah.
They have no
Yeah.
chance to explain their situation or what happened or why. And it doesn't
Yeah.
right. But let me ask you a question. If you found a secret cousin, a first cousin, what
Yep.
are you reaching out? Are you,
Oh boy, I don't know. I mean,
"Hey, let's swap stories?
I wouldn't, but I feel like one of my 6 siblings probably would.
Sure. But what if they
You
didn't?
know,
So if you
if
found
they didn't, I wouldn't be like, oh, I guess I better. I would be like, oh wow, that's weird. Anyway, whatever. Is that your question?
so many
Wait a
hypothetical.
minute, wait a minute. Why don't you answer the question first?
Well, I think I want to think that I would, but also knowing myself,
Yeah,
I might just not. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm kind of like you.
yeah,
Like, well, whatever. I got a lot going,
yeah.
you know? And like, how much in common would you even have? Like, you don't know what, I mean, so I'll just cut to the chase. My wife did send her a message. She found her on
Oh, she found her on what, Facebook or something?
social media. Yeah, either Facebook or something else and sent her a message. But I don't think she's heard back. So, plus,
Okay. Oh wow.
oh, fuck you too.
Yeah, if that's all it takes, maybe I would do. Yes, I would do that. But I mean, going on Facebook, hey, look at that.
Yeah,
Sure, I would do that.
that's too. That's what you open up with. Hey, look at that. We're first cousins. And they're like, what? Oh, yeah.
Hey, look at that. We're first cousins. Hey, do you know? Are there any comedy clubs where you live? Can
Do
you
you
get me the booking information?
stand up? Do you like, and do you have a bunch of friends? Are you popular?
Hmm?
People listen to you when you tell stuff.
Yeah. Do you have influence over people?
That's really what you need is you need the most promiscuous ancestors who just had tons of secret kids and families and tons of major markets around the country. And then you can be a profitable stand-up comedian. Because then just everywhere you go,
Yeah.
you've got some new first cousin.
Yeah. Oof.
Anyway.
All
Anyway.
right. Well, yeah, of course I'm backing you up.
Okay. I just think like seems like leave it alone. You know? Leave
Yeah.
people.
Oh, totally.
You don't need to ruin someone's
That's
life.
not fair.
Yeah,
Let your uncle enjoy the afterlife.
exactly. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else? Should wrap it up.
I got nothing. Should we do some plugs? Do you have anything to plug? I don't know what I have to plug. Let's see.
Let's see. St. Louis Funny Bone.
Is this gonna drop on Memorial Day? Is that what we're looking at?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Happy Memorial Day, everyone. I will be in Racine, Wisconsin on this coming Friday, the 7th, at Laughs on the Lake at the Memorial Hall in Racine Civic Center. And then Saturday, the 8th, at the Dublin in Duluth, Minnesota. And I love that room. I already asked you, you'd ever done that?
No,
The Dublin
Dub
Irish bar?
Dublin.
Yeah, DUBH and then LINN.
Oh no, I've never done it. I've done the double in. No, I haven't done it. I will be St. Louis at the St. Charles Funny Bone in St. Louis, June 6th through the 9th. So if you know people around there, send them our way. And thank you for listening, everybody. To
The gallery.